There is a type of enemy that cannot be faced with swords. It cannot be defeated with muscles, nor overcome with magic. An enemy that does not appear on the battlefield, but is present in every decision made. Hitogami is not just a powerful entity. He is an idea, a voice, a constant influence that infiltrates thoughts, offering seemingly safe paths, quick answers, and convenient solutions. And that is precisely why he is so dangerous. Unlike tyrants or legendary monsters, Hitogami does not dominate by direct force. He dominates by persuasion. He does not force anyone. He convinces. Throughout history, countless people believed they were making their own choices, when in reality they were only following carefully planted suggestions. Suggestions that seemed rational. Suggestions that seemed necessary. Suggestions that seemed inevitable. Hitogami's true power lies not in absolute control, but in the illusion of freedom. And that's why almost everyone fails when facing him. Because fighting Hitogami requires something few people possess: the ability to doubt their own will. Most people believe they are in control of their decisions. They believe they choose their paths, their allies, their goals. But when a voice emerges offering exactly what they want to hear, resistance disappears. Hitogami understands human desires better than any other being. He observes. He waits. And when he speaks, he says exactly what needs to be said.
Promises of a better future. Warnings of imminent dangers.
Guidance that seems to save lives. And often, it does.
That is another cruel detail. Hitogami doesn't lie all the time.
Sometimes he tells the truth. Sometimes his guidance truly prevents tragedies. But every little help creates dependence. Every success builds trust. And when trust is complete, the trap has already closed. That's why so many heroes have fallen. Not because they were weak, but because they were human. They had something to lose. They were afraid of failure. They hoped for a better future. And Hitogami uses all of that. Then the inevitable question arises. If he is so absolute, why is Orsted different? The answer lies not only in Orsted's power. It lies in his condition. Orsted doesn't live in a single timeline. He doesn't act in the dark. He doesn't advance guided by hope. Orsted carries the weight of repeated knowledge. He has seen what happens when the wrong choices are made. He has seen allies become enemies. He has seen victories turn into silent defeats. While others live believing they are improvising, Orsted knows exactly where each path leads. And that changes everything. Hitogami depends on the unknown. He depends on the fear of the future. He depends on the insecurity of what hasn't happened yet. But Orsted knows that future. When Hitogami tries to plant doubts, Orsted already knows the result of those doubts. When he tries to offer shortcuts, Orsted already knows the price of those shortcuts. There is no possible seduction where there is no uncertainty. Furthermore, Orsted lives in isolation. Not out of social weakness, but out of strategic necessity. He doesn't form bonds easily. He doesn't trust blindly. He doesn't allow himself to depend emotionally on promises. Hitogami manipulates relationships. He manipulates affections. He manipulates bonds. But Orsted chose solitude as his shield. While others fight to protect what they love, Orsted fights to prevent the cycle from repeating itself. Not out of emotion,
but out of obligation.
And that makes him dangerous. Another crucial point is that Orsted doesn't seek approval. He doesn't need to be seen as a hero. He doesn't need to be loved. He doesn't need to be understood. Hitogami, on the other hand, only exists through others. He needs to be heard. He needs to be followed. He needs to be believed. Without people, he loses his strength.
Orsted understands this.
That's why he doesn't try to convince. He doesn't try to lead the masses. He doesn't try to save the world in the traditional way. He acts at critical points, at key moments, in the decisions that truly matter. Every move Orsted makes is calculated. Every step carries the weight of countless previous attempts. And perhaps most importantly of all, Orsted accepts suffering as part of the process. Hitogami offers comfort. Orsted accepts pain. Hitogami offers easy paths. Orsted chooses the most difficult ones. And that difference is fundamental. Because defeating Hitogami is not an act of strength, but of resistance.
Resistance to temptation. Resistance to convenience.
Resistance to one's own will. Most people fail at this point. They want to believe there is an easy way. That someone can guide them without cost. That it will not be necessary to sacrifice anything. Orsted knows that this is a lie. That's why he keeps moving forward, even hated, even feared,
even misunderstood.
He doesn't fight to win a battle. He fights to break a cycle. And as long as Hitogami continues to depend on human choices, Orsted will remain his greatest threat. Not because he is invincible, but because it is inevitable. In the end, Hitogami's true defeat will not come with his physical destruction, but with the loss of his influence.
And only Someone, who never listens to the wrong voice,
can make that happen.